Newsline, a 30-minute presentation of the most reliable news from Liberia and the rest of the world. Today is Monday, the 11th of March, 2024. I am Vafli Kamara presenting. In the headlines, President Joseph Boakai constitutes inter-ministerial team to follow up on discussions held during his recent visit to Ivory Coast.
We want to know the financial implications, where we are, what kind of support needed, what are those financial agreements we need to get into.
Deputy Finance Minister for Budget Tanya Bramson urges young people in public service to show more commitment to duty. River County-based civil society groups praise government for steady progress in the fight against narcotic drugs in Liberia. And away from home, anger in Nigeria over government's decision to rename a major airport after President Tinubu. These and many more stories, including Sports The Water Report, are coming up. First, Emmanuel Colley and the News Bulletin.
President Joseph Boakai has instructed the Minister of Agriculture, IT Minister of National Defense, and Chief Executive Officer of the Liberia Electricity Corporation to follow up on discussions held recently during his visit to the Ivory Coast. On Friday, President Boakai returned from a state visit to the Ivory Coast, where he held a series of bilateral discussions with his counterpart, Alassane Ouattara. The discussions, according to Presidential Press Secretary Kula Fofana, focused on electricity, agriculture, and regional security. In the joint interview Monday, Madam Fofana said that three government officials will work closely with their Ivorian counterparts to begin implementing agreements reached in Abidjan.
And his team will work along with that team. So when the president now calls the Minister of Agriculture and asks, Mr. Minister, Dr. Nuta, where are we on this agreement? Where are we on this? And he's able to say, to hold them accountable.
Madam Kula Fofana stated that President Boakai's visit was prompted by his commitment to providing stable and affordable electricity through the CRSG project. According to her, Ivory Coast has over the years proven to be a regional power in agriculture, for which the Liberian government is determined to leverage through regional and sub-regional ties. Deputy Finance Minister for Budget Tanya Bramson has called to young people in public service to show diligence and commitment to duty. Minister Bramson said most times young people want to arrive at a bigger stage without the patience of going through the ranks and fire. She believes her long service and committed service to the country have won the confidence of the government to retain her as Deputy Minister for Budget over the past two transitions. Madam Bramson admitted sitting in the hot seat over the country's budget, given the number of competing national priorities. She spoke to ELBC Friday on the sidelines of the International Women's Day celebration, where she was honored as a distinguished public servant. Police in Louva County have launched a manhunt for one Pape body for reportedly raping the 9-year-old girl. A correspondent says suspect's body reportedly committed a height in his room when the victim's grandmother sent her to carry food for him. According to our correspondent, medical reports from the Telewayan Hospital in Vonjuma has since confirmed that the victim was tampered with. Meanwhile, the victim is currently undergoing treatment at the Telewayan Hospital in Vonjuma, Louva County. Several civil society organizations in River County have paid tribute to the government for the steady progress in the fight against drug abuse in Liberia. An executive of the CSOs, Abu Diallo, has hailed the government through the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency for leading efforts to curb the smuggling of drugs in country. Mr. Diallo told our correspondent the recent confiscation of narcotic substances by the DEA is a testament that government is not taking drug abuse lightly. Mr. Diallo, however, wants the government take tougher actions against drug dealers to serve as a deterrent for would-be importers of the substance. Meanwhile, the LDA River County Detachment Commander Jusu Kadia has assured the public of the entity's commitment to curbing the influx of drugs into the country. Several health facilities in Nima County have received huge medical and non-medical supplies. The goodwill was initiated and supported by a group of several Nimbayans residing in the Americas under the banner UNICO. According to our correspondent, the organization has been working and making numerous donations as a means of identifying with their compatriots back home over the years. The Jasin Evdo Memorial Hospital, Zoology Clinic, and Glo Diala among her facilities in the county that benefited from the organization's donation. And citizens of Grand Piedmont County have lauded the AFL Commander-in-Chief President Joseph Boakai for withdrawing the AFL assigned personnel at B Mountain Mining Company in the county. According to our correspondent, AFL personnel were deployed at B Mountain Mining Company site last November by the immediate past government. Our correspondent said the withdrawal of the AFL personnel has brought great relief to the citizens. Reports say the presence of the AFL has instilled fear in the citizens, though there have been no accounts of security harassment, including the AFL prior to its withdrawal.
Emmanuel Colley there with the news bulletin. You're listening to Newsline on ELBC Radio. One of the big stories we're following this afternoon, Riverview County-based civil society groups praise government for steady progress in the fight against narcotic drugs in Liberia. Well, Presidential Press Secretary Kula Fofana has disclosed that the Minister of Agriculture, Acting Minister of National Defense, and Head of LEC have been instructed by President Joseph Boakai to follow up on discussions held during his recent visit to Ivory Coast. On Friday, President Boakai returned home from a one-day state visit to Ivory Coast, where he held a series of bilateral discussions with his counterpart, Alassane Ouattara. The discussions, according to the Presidential Press Secretary, focused on electricity, agriculture, and regional security. In a joint radio interview, I asked Madam Fofana what was agreed on the issue of electricity.